The old school stood silent, its ancient bricks cooling as the last rays of sunlight faded. A heavy quiet settled over the empty classrooms, the long, deserted corridors, and the winding staircases. As dusk deepened, the shadows began to stretch, growing longer and darker. The gentle creak of the old building settling became louder, more ominous, like footsteps from an unseen presence. A chill wind, though no window was open, snaked through the halls. A soft, almost inaudible hum started, deep within the walls. Then came the whispers, faint and distorted, like many voices speaking at once, just beyond the edge of hearing. The shadows grew bolder. They detached themselves from the walls, flowing like dark smoke down the corridors. One shadow, particularly dense and elongated, stretched across the floor, reaching towards the grand staircase. The air grew colder still, and the whispers intensified, filled with a sense of dread. Suddenly, a locker door far down the corridor slammed shut with a sharp, echoing bang. Then another, and another, each sound tearing through the oppressive silence. The whispers seemed to laugh, a dry, rustling sound. On the third floor, in the abandoned library, an old, dusty book slowly slid from a shelf. The book was bound in dark leather, with strange, swirling symbols etched into its cover. As it lay open, a faint greenish glow pulsed from within its pages. Down the main staircase, the air grew incredibly heavy, thick with an unseen presence. A translucent figure began to materialize, shimmering faintly in the dim light. It was tall and gaunt, a ghost trapped forever. The whispers merged into a single, low growl, vibrating from the very foundation of the school. The shadows converged, forming a vortex of pure darkness. From its heart, something began to emerge, a creature of shadow and malice. It was massive, hulking, with eyes that glowed a melee. This was the monster, born of the dark magic that had festered in the school for years. The ghost on the staircase recoiled, its translucent form flickering with fear. The magical whispers now chanted a dark, unholy incantation, drawing the monster closer to its ultimate power. This was the monster, born of the dark magic that had festered in the school for years. The old school bell in the tower, long broken and silent, the monster took its first step, and the floor cracked beneath its weight. With each movement, the walls bled shadows, as if the school itself was alive. The next morning, students returned, unaware of what had awakened in the night. Laughter filled the halls, but the shadows did not leave. Lockers trembled softly as the monster listened from below. The cursed book reopened by itself, whispering new spells. Students began to hear their names whispered when no one was there. Mirrors showed reflections that moved a second too late. The monster grew stronger with every fear, every scream, every nightmare. Classroom lights began to fail, one by one. The school bell rang at random hours, even at midnight. One night, the monster roamed freely through the school. The ghosts followed, forced to serve the dark magic. The cursed book burst into flames, sealing the school's fate. By morning, the school stood empty once more. The authorities said it was closed forever. But at night, the bell still rings, and something still walks the halls.